So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumaka, my name is Rio, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, Lieutenant Colonel Sithiven Ngilior takes up office as Acting Police Commissioner. Lawyer Richard Nadi resigns from Constitutional Officers Commission. An opposition MP Biman Prasad denounces 2016 budget. Outgoing Police Commissioner Ben Hunewald has handed over office to Acting Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilior at the Fiji Police Force headquarters in Laucala Beach, Suva today. Brigadier General Ngilior says he was happy with the handing over process and the discussions he had with Hunewald. A farewell morning tea was also hosted by Ngilior and senior officers to thank the outgoing Police Commissioner for his time in office. In his parting words, Hunewald called on the senior officers to support the Acting Commissioner. Hunewald says he leaves today with no hard feelings against anyone. Hunewald thanked the force for the 18 months he's had, saying all differences were for the betterment of the organization. Brigadier General Ngilior will have a series of briefings throughout the week and is expected to make further comments on his plans for the organization later in the week. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum has refuted that the Constitutional Office Commission is politicized. COC member Richard Naidu, who resigned over the weekend, saying the commission works in a hazard manner and he will not be a rubber stamp for the government. Said Qayyum denies this, saying the commission isn't politicized and has representation from the government as well as the opposition. He says it must also be noted that apart from the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition and the Attorney General, the other three members of the Commission are not politicians. The Attorney General also highlights that Naidu was aware of and agreed to a resolution that outlined the processes in which the Chair of the COC had the discretion to unanimously decide on acting appointments. Said Qayyum says the Commission remains independent. Fiji's trade and tourism sector continues to flourish and the 2016 budget will surely rope in more revenue. Minister Fayaz Koya spoke on the 2016 budget, pointing out that 77 micro and medium enterprises are currently supported by the government and all are thriving. Akusita Tale has more.
The combined export sales from micro and medium businesses have increased by $30.9 million and 329 new jobs were created. The exporters that were assisted have also secured 87 new markets and 10 companies received international standard accreditation.
These are Fijian companies, Deputy Speaker. Therefore, Honourable Deputy Speaker, the continuation of the budgetary support of $2 million for the National Export Strategy will ensure the continuation of a vital target support for especially the micro, small and medium-sized budding exporters and the overall growth of the export sector.
Koya also revealed that with the current tourism growth rate of 9.2% for the period of January to September, Fiji is set to surpass the target of 714,000 visitors.
As at September, we were at 80% of the total of 2014 total arrivals, or 560,179.
The ministry has set its target to achieve a 5% growth in visitor arrivals, or getting 749,700 visitors into the country. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Opposition MP Professor Biman Prasad has labelled the 2016 budget a deceptive budget of a confused government. Professor Biman spoke in Parliament as Shadow Finance Minister.
The National Federation Party leader, Professor Biman Prasad, picked on major initiatives in the 2016 national budget, claiming they won't work.
VAT is reduced, but the poorest will pay more VAT. Last year, the government increased incentives for the tourism industry. Now it has taken them away. Last year, the government increased duties on luxury items. Now it has reduced them again. 1 year after vehicle imports were relaxed, they are now to be tightened.
Prasad claims 5% economic growth is a very ordinary performance and that the government has been borrowing and spending to maintain this economic growth.
Few people understand the importance to our economy of remittances from our people working and living overseas. Rugby players, security guards, nurses, caregivers. Remittances kept the Fiji economy going in the low years of 2007 and 2010. Today, much family expenditure for funerals, marriages, church and religious activities, school and university expenses are funded by our overseas relatives.
The NFP leader also rubbished the newly established environmental levy on tourists.
First, tourists are not paying to support environmental protection programs. They are paying to make up for the gap in VAT. This so-called environmental levy is not going to the environment or the most direct custodians of our environment. It is going straight into the gaping hole in the government's budget.
Professor Biman has also criticized the civil service reforms, the reforms undertaken in the sugar industry, and government's health and education reforms. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Minister for Women, Children, Social Welfare and Poverty Alleviation Rosie Akbar has praised the 2016 budget, calling it creative and one that benefits Fijians in need. Akbar says a $52.2 million allocation, an increase of $6.4 million, the ministry can efficiently meet its targeted assistance.
The reduction of VAT complements the ministry's food voucher program. In addition, the expansion of the free medicine initiative, subsidized electricity, water and bus fare subsidies will further assist low-income families. So all in all, Madam Speaker, this is a budget that is warmly welcomed by those Fijians who I have responsibility for in my portfolio.
Akbar also mentioned the importance of ensuring the new prices and duty reductions are passed on to consumers come 1st January next year. Later in the bulletin, passengers impressed by new-look Nadi Airport.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The 2016 national budget sparked some exciting exchange between members of parliament. There was praise for some government initiatives and questions about the validity of others. Ellen Stahls reports.
Assistant Health Minister Veena Bhatnagar says the continued support from the government is just what they need to reach out to more Fijians.
It is also a clear indication, Madam Speaker, of the government's genuine, undivided and uncompromised intention to invest in the health of our people so that we may cultivate longevity and, as alluded to by the Honourable Minister of Finance, a people that is healthier, stronger and free from preventable diseases.
The Health Ministry budget increases by $11 million. Bhatnagar says much of the additional funding will go to improving service delivery. She says it's good to see positive changes, such as the extensions to the CWM hospital and upgrades of the health centres around Fiji. Opposition member Mosese Mbuletavu also commended the budget, saying it's full of promises that he intends to keep an eye on. However, he's not too keen about the increase in foreign investors.
These activities, for example, include supermarkets, restaurants, and tailoring businesses where Fijians were encouraged to participate and thrive and protected. Instead, Madam Speaker, we now note supermarkets sprouting up in the main CBD, both here in Suva and likewise in the north and in the west. A lot of supermarkets are now owned by Asians. How did this happen?
He also asked the government to release figures on how many businesses have actually got off the ground from those who have applied. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The income tax bill was tabled in Parliament today. Ashnil Sudhakar, chair of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights, presented the bill to the House this morning.
The bill addresses some of the many different aspects of taxation, such as income tax, social responsibility tax, presumptive income tax, withholding tax, shipping income tax, company and business tax, capital gains tax, fringe benefit tax, mining tax, etc. Taxes touches the lives of each and every individual in one way or another.
The bill will be debated in Parliament at a later date. Foreign Minister Ratu Inoke Kumbombola has assured Fiji's commitment to working with the international community to eliminate terrorism.
As Foreign Minister, I also wish to stress Fiji's solidarity with the French government and our absolute commitment to join governments everywhere in fighting the scourge of terrorism. The international community will not be cowed by these cowardly attacks. On the contrary, it has made us all the more determined to shut down the terrorist threat. And Fiji will work with the rest of the international community to defeat the challenge, whatever the cost and however long it takes.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Muslim League has condemned the terrorist attacks in Paris, France, which has killed at least 132 people. League National President Hafizud Din Khan says the perpetrators of such a heinous crime cannot be people who fear God and must not be accepted as people who subscribe to any mainstream religion. The Assistant Minister for Local Government, Housing and Environment, Lorna Eden, says nearly 400 Fijians will have their dream of land or a house realised before year's end. In Parliament today, Minister Lorna Eden said about 200 Fijians will help by the Special Interest Rate Discount Program, and over 300 low-income earners will benefit through affordable housing lots in Tadiroa this year. For 2016, the government is providing a new allocation of $2.6 million to build rental flats to house 36 families, and a $1 million rental subsidy grant will assist financially disadvantaged families. The government has also allocated $5 million to the squatter settlement upgrading program in the last 2 years.
Our government has consistently focused on addressing affordability and home ownership issues across the social housing spectrum. And the focus on housing support for all Fijians has been and will increase towards the low and middle income segment of our people.
The government says it's committed to ensuring that Fijians can afford owning their own homes. Lawyer Israeli Fa has denied allegations that he misused lease monies awarded to Monasavu landowners by the courts. Concerns were raised by the landowners during Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama's recent visit to Monasavu. Ali Kimbia has more.
They know exactly.
Lawyer Israeli Fa says allegations that he deducted excessive cost from the Monasavu landowners' compensation payout are not true. Fa says he has records of all transactions and people who are bringing up such allegations are not landowners.
A lot of very false information has been put forward to the Prime Minister and the government because the payment that we have to receive for distributing the checks, the maximum payment is $20, and that's pursuant to the memorandum we disclosed to the court.
The Suva lawyer says he deducted $20 for each landowner every time a pay was received. However, in some instances, he says he only charged as little as $5. Landowners have told FBC News that they will remove Fa as their lawyer and are considering legal action as well.
All the 12 landowners of Monasavu have agreed to remove him as our lawyer and will take him to court. Because everything he does, he never consults the landowners.
Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama has told landowners to send communication to his office so that they can set up a team to investigate the issue. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The additional Singapore flights introduced by Fiji Airways is expected to boost tourism in 2016. Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya says Singapore is a major international hub with extensive connections to other Asian ports including India, Thailand, China and Europe, which will also benefit Fiji. Savara Kambua has more.
Fiji Airways opened reservations for this route early this month, and the twice-weekly flights will start next April 5th. Koya says the new flight will further promote tourism and cargo traffic to the country.
So we've got some aggressive marketing to do for the sectors that are growth sectors for us, which is India and China. And of course Singapore will also, it'll give us an addition, Europe, Singapore, straight to Fiji. Singapore is a hub and then on to Fiji, so it's fantastic news for us. It gives us more marketing that needs to be done.
Koya says the new flight will not only increase visitors but also give small micro businesses opportunities to showcase their products. Government has allocated a grant of $2 million to help small businesses grow.
The initial one that we had was for $1 million, went up to $3 million that we were able to distribute, and with the Indian government stepping in, we'll be distributing some more. But for next year, we've been allocated $2 million, which is fantastic news for us. It's a phenomenal program. We had great response, massive response to it, and we're quite happy to receive the extra money.
Micro and Small Medium Enterprise Program is one of the most important programs under the Ministry for Industry. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
29-year-old Ilaitia Vuivunda was arrested late last week and charged for his alleged involvement in the ANZ Bank robbery at the Nausori airport. Police Chief of Intelligence and Investigations ACP Henry Brown says Vuivunda was arrested in Singatoka and brought for questioning over the weekend and has since been charged with 1 count of robbery. ACP Brown says they continue to request for information to help locate the third suspect, Mesake Sinu Lelewasa, also known as Sinu. Anyone with information is requested to call Crime Stoppers on 919 or 9905 337. Sports is up next. Jamie's here with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up, tickets to Rio. And fate of suspended footballers still in the balance. This and more after the break.
Yoni borongo tumay na Radio Fiji 1 totoka tunan raki na ngona ni kuwa ni takini yoni nandoba tumay na ngono go mega ben na ruwa na ngo pinga rabi na singale ni kuwa ni sangula vinaka oya wana kamana langi na makia na bimataka mai na ziwa kina ruwa na bi singale bo mai na moni tikina borombo kan Radio Fiji 1 nando mai biti bonga ni bi ni adu.
After winning the Oceania Sevens yesterday and going through the entire tournament without conceding a single point, the new-look Telecom Fijianas believe this is the dawn of a new era for the team. The Ministry of Youth and Sports thanked the government for its allocation in their budget response today. Assistant Minister for Youth and Sports, Ilyas Sandelana, says that sport is a powerful force for national unity and that the government of the day plays a major part in the development of any sport in the country.
Government attaches the greatest possible importance to the development of sport in Fiji, and I'm pleased and proud that this is again reflected in the 2016 budget.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports have been allocated $22.5 million in the 2016 national budget. Most of the Fiji women's football team that toured Australia before the Pacific Games in August have been suspended from the team and from all levels of football indefinitely. They've been cited for disciplinary reasons, and a decision on their future in football will be made by the Fiji Football Association in the coming days. The suspended players did not feature for their districts at the Super 4 competition over the weekend.
Yes, they are, and at the moment the process is taking place, so I cannot comment further on that.
Meanwhile, former bar mentor Yogen Dutt has been appointed as coach of the Fiji women's side. The Fiji Football Association will hold a five-a-side tournament this weekend for players from its excellence centres. There will be 3 teams from 4 centres in the Southern Division. The rules for the tournament will be similar to international futsal rules.
3 teams from each development centres, Rewa, Suba, Nasinu,
and Nabwa will participate. In this futsal match, we'll have girls and boys participating in a day tournament.
The tournament will be held on Saturday at the Fiji FA headquarters grounds in Watuanga, Suva. The national team's chess championship will be held at Level 4 Tapu City Conference Room this Sunday. This is Fiji's only group-based chess tournament where participants can compete in teams of 3. Over the past 2 decades, schools such as Maris Brothers High, Mahatma Gandhi Memorial High, Bhavani Dayal Arya College and Yetsen Secondary have been regulars at the event.
Any school or any open team can actually form a group of 3 players and they can have a team. So we have awards for best placed primary school and best placed secondary school.
The team's championship will be followed by the 2015 National Open Chess Championship from November 28th to December 2nd. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The new departures and arrivals lounge at the Nadi International Airport is now open for the travelling public. Travellers got first-hand experience of a number of newly upgraded tenancies, including duty-free shops, food and beverages and foreign exchange dealers, to name a few. AFL Executive Chair Faiz Khan says they still have a fair way to go renovating an operational airport, and the plan has always been to open the airport's renovated areas in stages. Khan says with this opening, AFL has completed more than 50% of the renovation works.
This is really nice. There's lots of duty-free stuff you can look at, and the food, and it's nice aircon, and yeah, I think it's beautiful. It's good.
I think compared to Vanuatu, I think Fiji is on the roadmap of prosperity. Yeah, it's growing.
The Nadi Airport Terminal Modernisation Project is on schedule for completion next year. $105 million has been set aside for the project. Another cool to mild day with hazy clouds about the southern and eastern parts of the country. Mombasa and Nadi recorded the highest temperature at 31 degrees, leaving Ban Lautoka in the low 30s, while Suva and Savu at 30. Tomorrow will bring a mix of hazy and clear skies with a slight chance of early morning showers up north and in the southeast. It will still be dry in the west. And for Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy with few chances of rain. Recapping tonight's main stories. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum has denied claims by Suva lawyer Richard Naidu that the Constitutional Office is politicized. Acting Police Commissioner Lieutenant Colonel Sitiveni Gilio took up office this morning, and Parliament begins debate on 2016 national budget. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, are you happy with the massive reduction in VAT? 76% of respondents replied yes. This week we're asking, can the Fijiana rugby team win gold at the Rio Olympics? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You can also find us on YouTube, FBC TV 2011, and on Instagram, FBC TV. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Bye for now.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 का ये प्रसारण आपके लिए कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है, हम कर रहे हैं। याद रखते हैं अभी से लेकर रात 12 तक यह सिलसिला हमारा और आपका चलता रहेगा। दृष्टिकोण में आपका हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं। दृष्टिकोण के तुरंत बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम में। इधर कहते हैं कि गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, दर्द बहुत था दिल में पर हम रोए नहीं, कोई नहीं हमारा जो पूछे हमसे, जाग रहे हो किसके लिए या किसी के लिए सोए नहीं। याद रखते हैं गीत संगीत का तकाजा आपके लिए रात 12 तक आपको हम सोने नहीं देंगे। महकती रातें हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से लेकर 12 के बीच रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।